Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Tracy, and over 10 years ago I was pushing 300 pounds. I was miserable. I was a wife, I was a mom, but I didn't function as a wife and a mom. And for about 5 years I contemplated the gastric bypass, and I finally pulled the trigger. I had the gastric bypass. I lost the weight, but I also lost so much more than that. I lost myself. In this journey that I took, I found myself, and I am here to share my journey with you. If you're contemplating the gastric bypass, the sleeve, whatever it is, and you have questions and you're wondering if it's right for you, let's talk. I am a certified life coach. I help people bypass the binge eating, the switching the binge from binge eating to binge drinking to shopping. Let's get to the root cause of what's really troubling you on the inside and end up finding yourself and loving yourself from within. It is a long road, but you can do it. I did it. I'm proof. One of the things I want to talk to you about today is choices. What are you choosing to do? My little background story here, my senior year, going into my senior year, I went to Uncle John's Fat Farm. My uncle was going to school down at the University of Idaho, and I spent the summer with him trying to take off the weight so that I looked good for my senior year. It was something that I really wanted, and by golly, I did it. In about a month, I lost over 30 pounds. I had a daily regimen of biking 7 miles, running, swimming, aerobics class, and I was eating minimal food. A baked potato at night for dinner, which is really good for you, right? I would have a sandwich for lunch, and I couldn't have mayonnaise because it had too many calories, so I could have mustard. And it was a quick fix, and I ended up putting the weight back on. But one of the stories I want to tell you, I had went with Uncle John, and I had biked into the university, which was 7 miles. I took my hour aerobics class and my hour lap swimming, and I took a break. Then I'd back home, and then John would want to go work out, and so I would go and run the track while he lifted weights. I had ran 3 miles that night, and John got out of his weightlifting, and he asked me to do 1 more mile, and I said, screw that, I ain't running no more miles. And in this story, we had went to the mall one day, and they had this great big giant chocolate chip cookie, and I wanted it so bad, and I couldn't have it. You know, he wasn't going to give in and let me have the chocolate chip cookie. So when we were running that day, he told me that if I would run the extra mile with him, we'd go and get that chocolate chip cookie. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. I'm in. You know, I haven't had anything like that in weeks. So John and I, we ran the extra mile, and we got in the car, and something clicked in my head that said, I don't want that cookie. Even though I had done that extra mile, my endorphins were going in my mind that I had succeeded, and I chose not to have that cookie. Life is about the choices that we are making. Are you going to make good choices? Are you going to make the choice to eat the ho-hos and the ding-dongs? Are you going to make the choice to excuse me, drink that bottle of wine just to do one more. It's a choice. How are you going to choose? When I looked in the mirror, I seen just a fat person that didn't like themselves, loud, obnoxious, attention seeker, and it wasn't a good look for me. When you have the gastric bypass, you can't, or I couldn't, eat the ding-dongs and the ho-hos anymore for a long time. Do I have a piece of chocolate? Sure, but it's my choice. Are you fueling your body to work for you? Or are you feeding your body that junk, the ho-hos and the ding-dongs, to get the endorphin high that you get for about 20 minutes after you binge eat, and then just feel miserable again? It's all a choice. I choose differently now. I choose to get up. I choose to exercise. I choose what I put in my mouth. And it's something that's taken a long time to do. The choices I make now are better for me, and they're not harmful. For a long time, I chose to isolate myself and hide the ding-dongs and the ho-hos so the family couldn't find them, so I could have my, snacks, my stash. Today I don't do that. Today I choose to do better for myself, to make myself feel better. The choices that we make today are for your future. Do you see yourself as a 300-pound person that's happy and joyful, and what's eating you? How, at my highest weight, could I be happy with myself? I wasn't. And Uncle John's Fat Farm, certainly I lost the weight and I felt good for a while, but you know what? That weight came back on and I'm miserable again. Something that you do with gastric bypass too is what you're going to choose to do as far as exercise. If you're not an athlete and you don't want to do a triathlon, that's fine. Don't. But choose to get up and move. If you choose to get up and move, your weight is going to stabilize and you're going to feel good about yourself. What you see on the outside is the way you need to feel on the inside. And after the gastric bypass, I lost the weight and I did look good. But the inside still wasn't fixed. Going through a life school program, I learned what was truly eating at me. I never thought I could be a life coach, but here I am. I never thought I was going to go out and tell my story about switching the binge, my binge eating to my binge drinking, to isolating and still not liking myself. I had the body that I always wanted. I just wasn't happy on the inside. And a lot of people switched the binge. I had the gastric bypass. I did good for years. I never had an issue with wine. I never drank it. I didn't drink. But after about 5 years, about 2015, I switched my binge. And I would sit there at night lonely and drink myself to sleep. We have to find different ways to function as human beings besides binge eating and drinking and you're binge shopping. Come on, you guys, you know the Amazon packages come every other day. Does that really make you happy? Does the shopping and getting all this stuff satisfy you? It may for a moment or two, and say, yeah, you know what? I'm glad I bought that. Looks good. But the long run, it doesn't. You have to find out what the root cause is, and you have to choose to make the right choices for you to become whole. I wasn't whole, and I needed to learn why. You guys, I was married, I had 2 kids, I should have been the happiest person, I had a great job, I should have been the happiest person in the whole wide world, but I wasn't. And things were chewing at me from the internal inside that I couldn't control. I can control now, and I choose to do differently. I choose to eat better, I choose to exercise, and you know what, guys? Something that I never thought, I journal. I journal my feelings, my thoughts, and you can look back at that and see how you were feeling that day. Find out how you overcame. How you overcome, there's some days that you don't want to get out of bed and you just want to put the covers over your head and just sleep all day. But choose not to. Choose to get up and do something. Choose to get up and live a life you love living, instead of a life that you're just functioning day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second. Join me. Let me help you. Like I said, I'm a life coach. I'm here to serve. If you have questions, if you are contemplating the gastric bypass, and you want to know the truth behind it, you got questions, please reach out to me. I'm an open book. I wasn't for a long time, but I am now, because I feel the calling to help people. So if you've had the gastric bypass, you are contemplating it, you binge eat, you binge drink, you binge shop, whatever your binge is, if you're wanting help to get control of it, please reach out to me. You can find me here on Facebook, bypassthebinge.com. I'm up and running, and I'm here to serve you. So reach out to me. Subscribe and like my YouTube page. I'd appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I hope you make the good choice to do what's right for you and your body. You guys have a great day. Stay healthy and safe. And I'll talk to you soon. All right? Bye, guys.